Hello guys, so in this video I want to share my experience of how the first week at the job is actually like, so that when you actually start getting that job, you know how it actually is like when you actually going to start working at that company. Of course, this will differ from company to company, but this is generally how it actually is as you actually get that job and you start working. So this is how your first week will actually be like. Alright, so before we get started, if you're new to this channel, just a bit of introduction. My name is Katlao. I'm a self-taught software developer. In this channel, I share some tips and my experience of how I became a self-taught software developer in order to make it easy for you guys to get into the field, get you guys motivated, and get inspired. So if that sounds interesting, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I release new content. Alright, let's get right into it. So in your first week, as you actually start working at that company, you actually go through some few paperwork if necessary that are not actually signed as yet. So of course, you've actually already signed the contract to work at that company, but there are other paperwork that you actually need to sign, like things that are related to insurance and everything. So you actually need to do that in that first week or in the second week or in that first month, right? So you go through that paperwork. So that's another thing that you go through in the first week. Then another thing that you actually face in your first week is start working at that company is you actually need to meet all the developers in the company or all the co-workers that you actually have at that company, right? Not necessarily all of them, because you might be working at a company that has a lot of people. So they'll just do a bit of introduction to introduce you to the team so you can know the necessary people that you work hand in hand with or the people that you work closely with, right? So they'll introduce you to the team. So that's another thing that you actually go through so that they can actually get you groomed into the team so you know how it actually feels like being in that team, so you know the culture right away, so you can get a better idea of actually how they communicate with each other, right? They'll actually try to groom you into the team and make you comfortable so that you're comfortable with everyone in the team. So then once they've introduced you to the team, then you're going to get like a bit comfortable in the team, and as time goes on, of course, they'll have every meeting, and in every meeting that you're in, you'll be able to communicate with the teammates, right? Then also they'll need to make sure that your PC is set up, right? So they need to install like all the necessary tools that will be required for your role, right? So if you're a front-end developer, they'll install, if they're using Angular, they'll install Angular, they'll install Docker. If they're using Docker, they'll install Git, they'll install whatever tools that are going to be needed for that position, right? And also the tools that are required by that company, right? Like Microsoft Teams, they need to set that up, they need to set up the email and everything so that your work is easy, right? So that you can be able to communicate as you're working, so you can be able to actually push that code, so you can be able to submit the code, so they can be able to review your code and everything. So they need to make sure that they set up your PC. So that's another thing that they'll actually do. They'll focus on setting up your PC. They'll send an IT person at the company to set up your PC. If there's no IT person specifically for setting up your PC, they'll basically find another developer who is senior enough to actually take you through setting up your PC so that you have everything set up so you can actually start working, right? Then once your PC is actually set up, they'll basically give you like a basic test. It won't be something big, it'll be just something to get you started so you can have something to work on in that first month or that first week. So yeah, you have that test and you work on that test. It won't be something big. Like I said, it'll be just something small so you can actually know how to use those tools that they've installed, know how to communicate, know how to push their code so that you can actually know how everything is done at their company, right? So that test is actually just so that they can actually get you groomed into working at their company, right? And be able to use those tools that they've installed for you that are required by their company, right? So yeah, that's basically how it's actually like in the first week. They're just trying to get you groomed into the company so that they can actually make you feel comfortable. They won't give you like a lot of work. Don't be afraid that you get a lot of work. But of course, it depends on every company to company. Like I said, you might work at a startup that is fast paced, like they will give you like a lot of work like instantly because they've hired you and they know that you're capable, or they think that you're capable, and they'll give you like a lot of work and they'll want you to figure out all the code by yourself. Of course, if there are not many developers, you'll need to figure out all the code by yourself, and you need to make sure that you get that done very quickly, right? So this will depend from company to company, but generally companies want you to feel comfortable first at the company so that you know how everything is done. Then after that, then they can actually start giving you some more tasks so that you can actually get in the process of being comfortable at your role, right? So yeah, that's how it's usually like in the first week working at a new company. So if you want to share your experience of how it was actually like when you actually started working at a new company or your current company that you're working at the moment, just share it down in the comments so that you can share your experience of how it was actually like in the first week so that everyone can actually have an idea of how it will be like when they start working. So yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. I hope this video will be helpful for you guys. If you haven't done this yet, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I release new content, and also like the video, guys. Alright, that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have an awesome day. Bye.